Well, I'll be honest with you, trying to finish up doing this countdown, but having considerable computer problems once again tonight. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it tonight or not. I'm going to try to. I'm going to give it the old college try, as they used to say. Two more songs to go. I got the number one song coming up, but I want to do a top 40 extra first. Some of the top 40 extras on my fancy playlist the week of November 29th, 1986. Got Two People by Tina Turner. That was a minor hit. Jets, You Got It All. That would become a big hit. Brand New Lover by Dead or Alive. I always hit spot. Nighttime by George Thorogood. I think that was the remake of the Strange Loves record, but I'm not sure. And Don Henley, Who Owns the Night. Hadn't heard that in years. And the song, I'd forgotten all about this record. I just listened to it again. It just sounds so good. B-52's Girl from Ipanema. Ipanema Goes to Greenland, I believe is the name of the record. I didn't write the whole title down. The Girl from Ipanema Goes to Greenland. The Girl from Ipanema, done by Stan Getz in 1964, and a little bit of wordplay on there by the B-52's. B-52's, they did some quirky, some brilliant records early on. It wasn't until 1989 that they got real big. They attained their biggest commercial success with Love Shack, and there was Rome in early 1990. But first charted hit I remember by B-52's was Rock Lobster. That was in 1980. 1979, 1980, and then they came out with Planet Claire. She came from Planet Claire. I knew she came from there on a Plymouth satellite. That was a brilliant record by them. And Rock Lobster, that was Rock Lobster, but there was another one that they did. I can't even remember the name of the record right off the top of my head that they did in 1980. But bottom line is, they were definitely, a lot of people think that, here's the thing. They're from the South. They're from Georgia. They're from the same area that REM is from in Georgia. And that's, back in the 80s, people were thinking, REM, man, I bet those are some cool guys from New York, or the B-52s, they're from New York. And then they said, no, they're from Georgia. And they're like, what, you're kidding? Those bands are from the South? You're kidding me, man. Well, they were, the B-52s. Their fourth album was called Bouncing Off the Satellite. And this album was marred by tragedy. It was not big, partly due to the death. Well, basically due to the death of Ricky Wilson, the guitar player. They worked on this album in the summer of 1985. It was completed in July of 1985. Ricky Wilson, the guitarist of the B-52s, he died of AIDS, or the complications from AIDS. On the date was October 12, 1985. And this was before the album was released. The group was devastated. They were absolutely devastated, especially his sister, a fellow group member, Cindy Wilson. His sister was just, she fell into a deep depression. And the band went into seclusion. They did some promotional videos, including the one that I'm gonna play for you, but they did not tour to support this album. They were just too depressed. Although this particular record, and it was the song was remixed or mixed by Shep Pettibone. Shep Pettibone was one of the biggest dance mixers of the 80s. If you read about dance remixes by Five Star, maybe Madonna, David Bowie, just all kinds of dance acts back in the 80s, the early to mid 80s, you're going to run into Shep Pettibone's name. And that's all I got to say. This was a pretty big hit on one of the dance charts in Billboard, but that's it. I love this record though. I love the singing on this record. It just never took off. It was not promoted. Ricky Wilson passed away, and the band took a big hit from that. But then they would come back 3 years later with their biggest hit, Love Shack. Talking about rising from the jaws of defeat. B-52's on my fancy playlist, a top 40 extra. This is The Girl from Ipanema Goes to Greenland, I believe was the name of the record. That is it. Here it is, brought to you by Mr. Deejay.